America cannot tell the truth about herself. If the history of this country were written, you would have to say that this country is a nation of thieves. It began by stealing this country from the red man. If I said to you that Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492, you would say that's correct. But now here comes this honky from Spain. There are already non-white people here, and they're not existing until he comes and discovers them. Ain't that all their heroes have been white. They make you bow down to George Washington as your hero. Did they ever tell you that that honky owned slaves? Did he ever tell you that? Yeah. Not only did he own slaves, he sold a black woman for a barrel of molasses, and he's supposed to be our hero. Our hero.
Now, if I right now decided that I wanted to play Monopoly with you, and for 400 rounds of playing Monopoly, I didn't allow you to have any money, I didn't allow you to have anything on the board, I didn't allow for you to have anything, and then we played another 50 rounds of Monopoly, and everything that you gained and you earned while you were playing that round of Monopoly was taken from you. That was Tulsa, that was Rosewood. Those are places where we built black economic wealth, where we were self-sufficient, where we owned our stores, where we owned our property, and they burned them to the ground. So that's 450 years. So for 400 rounds of Monopoly, you don't get to play at all. Not only do you not get to play, you have to play on the behalf of the person that you're playing against. You have to play and make money and earn wealth for them, and then you have to turn it over to them. So then for 50 years, you finally get a little bit and you're allowed to play. And every time that they don't like the way that you're playing, or that you're catching up, or that you're doing something to be self-sufficient, they burn your game. They burn your cards. They burn your Monopoly money.
If you don't have a background in understanding how the CIA works and how the crack cocaine epidemic actually started, if you don't know how the private prison for profit pipeline works and how many black people they are literally still working as slaves to this day, and that corporations like McDonald's and Starbucks and Verizon are profiting off of slave labor in our prison system today, paying prisoners cents per hour wages.
Yes.
That, like, if you don't understand those things, then you could think, oh my gosh, America is full of entrenched racism. But what it actually is it's deep state and corporate programs that are profiting to the tunes of billions of dollars off of literally smuggling crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods in LA in order to impoverish those black neighborhoods. They are running sexual blackmail operations in the black music industry with people like P. 100%. Diddy, and promoting degenerate music in order to promote degenerate culture, in order to have gangster culture, thug culture, hoe culture, because that keeps this type of people in this lower vibrational thinking. It keeps them doing things that will lead the men to prison and lead the women to whatever the hell it's leading them to. And that is so profitable to them.
The goal was always to destroy us. And they try to do it in every way possible. Through the streets, through the music, through each other. And it baffles my mind to know the amount of people that don't know the real reason of why black people, Hispanic people are in the state that we're in. Everywhere you turn around, we fill up the ghettos, we fill up the prisons, and it's not by coincidence. It was all a part of the plan. It was always a part of the strategy to keep us down, to keep us impoverished, to keep our minds in a low vibrational state.
do you know? America didn't just build highways to connect cities. It built them to break black communities apart. They don't teach this in school. Because if they did, people would start asking questions. After World War II, America launched the Federal Aid Highway Act of 1956, the largest public works project in U.S. history. Official reasons? Modern transportation, economic growth, urban renewal. But behind the language was a decision. City planners were given a choice. They could run highways through wealthy white neighborhoods, business districts, politically powerful areas, or they could run them straight through black communities, places with the least political protection. The American government chose straight through black communities, and that's exactly what they did. Across the country, highways were deliberately routed through thriving black neighborhoods. Not empty land, not abandoned zones, but living communities, black neighborhoods with churches, our schools, doctors, barbers, grocery stores, family homes owned for generations, destroyed for highways. Places where black Americans were finally building stability. After slavery, after Jim Crow, after exclusion, the government called these places blighted, unsanitary, slums, but those words were legal weapons. Once an area was labeled blighted, the government could seize land through eminent domain, offer low compensation, demolish entire blocks, force families out with little notice, and that's exactly what happened. In city after city, bulldozers came, homes were destroyed, businesses were flattened, churches erased, graves relocated, communities scattered. Let's be clear about this. This was not accidental. This was not neutral planning. This was policy. Examples they don't like to talk about. In New Orleans, the Claiborne Avenue corridor, once the heart of black commerce, was destroyed to build Interstate 10, oak trees cut down, black businesses wiped out, economic lifelines severed. In Detroit, Black Bottom and Paradise Valley, two of the most important black cultural centers in America, were demolished for highways and redevelopment. Thousands displaced, culture erased, wealth destroyed. In Miami, Overtown, called the Harlem of the South, was cut in half by Interstate 95. Families forced out, businesses closed. The community never recovered. In Syracuse, Baltimore, Los Angeles, Atlanta, St. Louis, Memphis, the pattern repeated. Different cities, same outcome. Highways became walls. They separated black neighborhoods from jobs, increased pollution and health problems, lowered property values, made reinvestment almost impossible. What was destroyed was not just buildings, but generational wealth. White families often received better relocation assistance, access to suburban mortgages, federally backed home loans. Black families received low payouts, limited housing options, redlined neighborhoods, rising rents. So displacement didn't just remove homes, it locked people into poverty. And here's the part that still hurts. Many of these black communities never recovered. Even decades later, you can trace inequality by following the highway maps. The government called it progress. But progress for who? When historians look back, they don't call it urban renewal anymore. They call it what it was, urban removal. So when people ask, why are black neighborhoods poorer? Why were communities destabilized? Why does wealth look the way it does? Look at the highways. America didn't just pave roads. It paved over black futures. And ask yourself this, if they were willing to destroy entire communities just to move cars faster, what else were they willing to sacrifice?
Pastor Wilkins of Chasing Our History. You are inside of a slave breeding house. You're inside of a slave breeding house. I promise you when I tell you this, there are spirits in this place and you can feel them real heavy. There's a heavy presence of another presence that is not me, and you can clearly feel it. Look at this. They could be as young as 13 years old to lay on this bed, and slaves would sleep with them and produce children. Overseers would sleep with them. The master himself could be sleeping with them. This is a house of horror. This is a house of horror. Everything is original. Look at the stove. Look at the chimney. Look how old it is. You can feel the presence of other entity in here. I've been on enough plantations to know when there's something else in these houses, and clearly something's in here. There's an unrest in here. Rape happened here. Incest happened here. Molestation happened here. Right here in this slave house. They were breeding them. A 13-year-old could literally, or 12, could literally be laying right here producing children, up to 30 of them at one time. Look at that. You're at the Magnolian Plantation where they were breeding slaves. I'm Pastor Wilkinson, chasing our history. Be blessed.
And I think this is the most ridiculous thing that has ever happened. The Negroes are just as free as we are. They have the same opportunity to work and to build their part of the town up just the same as we have. I just don't understand it and don't approve of it. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
Thank you very much. Jim Knight with WALB Television News. We're soliciting the views of Albany people on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us your views?
Well, I think if they remain peaceful, it would be a lot better than perhaps the violence that would be concerned. Well, of course, being a Southerner, I'm not for it at all.
I see.
And I just don't know how it's going to turn out. I hope we don't have any trouble.
We're soliciting opinions on the Civil Rights Bill. Would you like to give us yours?
I'm sorry, but I don't think it's the time right now. I think they have equal rights, though.
Thank you very much. Would you like to express your views?
No, I don't think so.
How about you?
Nope.
What I'd have to say wouldn't be fit to go on air.
Thank you very much.
I don't like it. I think they're just trying to put something on us that we don't want.
I see.
We ought to have a national election on it rather than just letting 9 men tell us what we got to do.
And how about you?
I feel the same.
Fine, thank you very much.
I sure don't like it, that's for sure.
I see. Do you feel this will have any effect on your life directly?
I imagine it will.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
afraid we might have niggers to live next door to us.
Ricky, what happened when you went to school today?
The white folk beat me with clubs today.
Did they smash the cars? Did they smash your window in the car?
Yes.
What happened to you, Ricky?
I got hit in the side of the head with a club.
Was there any glass?
No. Yeah.
Are you going back to school, Ricky?
No.
You're not going back to school anymore?
No.
Are you afraid of the white folks, Ricky?
No.
Why aren't you going back to school? You don't like all the trouble, Ricky?
No.
Ready? Ready. Glenda, what happened when you went to school today?
Well, we were driving and the lady driving us to school and we tried to get into school, but some group of white boys and men came up to the clubs and smashed all the glasses out.
Ronald Reagan didn't invent the term welfare queen, but he popularized it. He put it on a national stage, the media picked it up, and white America put a face to it. That face looks like me. It looks like my mother, my aunts, my sisters, my cousins. Black women became the symbol of government dependency, laziness, fraud, failure. But that image was a lie, because the reality is the majority of people on welfare in America do not look like me at all. Statistically, most people receiving public assistance are white Americans. And when we talk about the real welfare queens, we're not talking about survival. We are talking about power. The majority of welfare queens actually look like white men. Yep. White men run roughly 85% of major corporations in this country, and the same corporations receive trillions in tax breaks, subsidies, bailouts, and incentives. The real welfare queens are corporations that pay $0 in federal taxes while posting record profits. Billionaires who borrow against their wealth to avoid taxes while their workers rely on food stamps. Banks that get bailed out when they collapse the economy but foreclose on families without mercy. Corporations that receive subsidies, tax abatements, and loopholes so large you could drive a freight train through them. That is welfare. When the government writes checks to corporations, it's called stimulus. When the government rescues banks, it's called too big to fail. When the government gives tax breaks to billionaires, it's called economic policy. But when a single mother gets help feeding her kids, it's called a problem. One of the biggest lies ever told by politicians and billionaires was convincing the public that the real problem in America is the poor. And that lie was intentional, because as long as poor people fight each other, no one is looking up at who's really draining the system. They taught us to look down so we don't look up. Welfare was never the enemy. Poverty was never the moral failure. The real theft has always been legal, polished, and protected. The real welfare queens don't stand in line at government offices. They lobby, they legislate, they write rules. And once you understand that, you stop blaming survival and you start questioning power.
The America that I once knew is gone. That's what I see people say online, especially young people. And I go, then you never knew your country. And I'm finding a lot of people never really understood or knew America. You didn't study your history, or you only understood the history that you were taught in school, which is actually propaganda, not real history. It was designed to make you docile, designed to make you compliant, to believe that the country that you live in is perfect, it cares about equality, cares about the life condition and the living condition of its citizens. None of that shit was ever true. It was all propaganda. You were taught if you work hard, you're going to grow up and you're going to be able to make a lot of money, or at least make decent money to support your family, and you won't have to burn the candle at both ends. All that shit was a lie. It was designed to just get you to continue to be compliant as you were moving through the system and growing up and moving through it. But the country, what you see America doing right now, is exactly who America is. Quiet is kept technically. Technically, America's been cosplaying all this time. When you think about it, it's been a whole cosplay operation of pretending to be something it's not, pretending that it cares about its citizens, pretending that it's a democracy, when in fact, it's always been laying down for rich people and businesses. And now it's just at a point where rich people and businesses were running out of runway for making money. So now, what do? You buy government and you infuse yourself in it, and then you can get taxpayer money as much as you want without abandon. Now keep in mind, these companies are already getting taxpayer money, but now they can really get it. Now they can really get it because they are America. They are everything we claimed that we weren't. But when I see that conversation about this is not who we are, where the fuck y'all been at? Really?
Поэтому ведут против нас все более агрессивные информационные атаки. Целью выбирают прежде всего, конечно, молодых людей, молодые поколения. И здесь опять лгут постоянно, извращают исторические факты, не прекращают нападки на нашу культуру, на русскую православную церковь, другие традиционные религиозные организации нашей страны. Посмотрите, что они делают со своими собственными народами. Разрушение семьи, культурной и национальной идентичности, извращение, издевательства над детьми вплоть до педофилии объявляются нормой их жизни. А священнослужителей, священников принуждают благословлять однополые браки. Да Бог с ними, пускай что хотят, то и делают. Что здесь хочется сказать? Взрослые люди имеют право жить, как хотят. Мы к этому так и относились в России, и всегда к этому будем так относиться. Никто в частную жизнь не вторгается, и мы не собираемся этого делать. Но хочется им сказать, ну посмотрите, извините меня, священные писания, главные книги всех других мировых религий. Там все сказано, в том числе то, что семья – это союз мужчины и женщины. Но и эти